Welcome to another episode of the Power Hour. I am Steve, along with the urban sensation, the wrestling icon, manager extraordinaire, NWA superstar, the one, the only C-Red.
Why not?
And then, of course, we have, I don't know who we have. It might be Pac-Man. It might be PX. We don't know what the fuck's going on with him. But in due course, we've got a lot of shit to get through tonight. There's a lot of moving parts on this show. I'm not sure I have the strength to keep this shit in check. So this could go off the rails very quickly. But let me
Top fans say hi to their Power Hour
I don't
co-host.
know who the fuck this top fan bullshit is. All I know is Tom from the fourth mother box is pissed at PAX. Travis and Turtle are a little confused. So we'll get to PX's nonsense. And I knew this was going to happen after Super Wrestlers, but we'll get to this in just a little bit. We'll hold PAX over the coals and we'll find out what's going on. But we got some things to do ahead of time. Joining us in a bit will be some of the Chicago Knockouts. They will talk to us a little bit about what went down at Too Hot to Handle, because quite honestly, I don't know what I can say. I don't know what I can't say. All I know, Red, you picked the wrong motherfucking week to no show. I'm sure you had.
No,
I
I
know you
mean,
had. We know you had some shit. We know.
yeah.
So I'm not. I'm just saying, this show would have scrambled your brain.
No, and trust me, I already had put together in my head what was gonna kind of take place, but you definitely know what's going on over here. And
Right.
that's the irony that you never know, is it good, is it bad day? And Saturday was not a good day.
Yeah, when
So
I was dealing with my mom, it was always card subject to change for me. I had all sorts of things I had to do, but I had to talk to the people about saying, "Hey, listen, I might not be there if things don't go well." So I totally get it. We missed you. You'd have enjoyed it. Your girl Megatron was there amongst others, but we'll talk about that when the knockouts join us. Obviously, Rachel is not here this evening. Cactus Rack is dealing with some medical issues with our favorite Power Hour mascot, Lunala. We wish her a speedy recovery, and we hope Rachel is feeling well as well. We'll catch up with them next week. And she was really disappointed to be missing our main guest. Obviously, Pauly Thomaselli is going to be our guest on this show. He will be joining us in the second hour, and he will talk about everything that he went through this weekend, amongst many other things. But we're going to start off the show a little bit different. Uh, Red, I've been working at Frontline for a minute, right?
yeah, well, it's been a has it been a year yet?
Been a little over a year, and like I said, I shuffled my schedule and I left some places so I could be committed to Frontline because I believe in their message. I believe in what they do, the way they want to take care of the vets, the way they do charitable work. It's an excellent place to be with excellent people and an excellent message. And I feel like it's unique in that way. So I am a big booster of Frontline, and I would have to be because when I go to Frontline for a show and it's in Marshfield, it's 8 hour round trip. So that's a lot of time spent in the car. But I do it because I love it. I do it because it's important to me. I think it's important work in general, and I love what they do and why they do it. That's why I'm so vested in it. But at the last show, I talked about this a little on previous episodes. Owner operator of Frontline Pro, Bulletproof Ben McCoy, has gone through some changes, shall we say. And we saw him do some very nefarious things, and he's now calling himself the creator. Now, you want to talk about a God complex? This man has gone absolutely batshit crazy around the bend. That's the only way I can describe it because Ben. You've known Ben for years. We all know Ben. Ben has worked in Japan. Ben has worked everywhere. Ben is the consummate professional wrestling. I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm not sure I want to know, but he has done some very uneven carny type bullshit. First of all, he strapped himself. Now he's building a a faction to basically suck all the energy and life out of Frontline Pro Wrestling. And I can't figure out why. He tried to maim Shaq Jordan. That's how he won his title. He has recruited Muggsy James, who I considered a friend until this bullshit went down. And I did not go to the last show. I boycotted it. I said I'm not going. And then Ben flipped the script on me and said, well, you know what? I'm not going to let you boycott it. I'm going to give you the show off to think about things. So what does he do at the show? He pulls some more crazy, sinister bullshit and adds another member to his crew. And when I saw the footage, I was absolutely devastated. Do you know he pulled to be on his team of miscreants trying to destroy everything good about Frontline Pro Wrestling?
Who?
Frontline Pro's longest tenured heavyweight champion and my good friend, I thought, Sexy Violence Quinn Whittick. So now it's Muggsy, Ben, and Quinn, and he's claiming there are others. So in lieu of cutting a promo, I decided I was going to kind of give him a promo here to tell him my intentions, because later this month, in July, I'm back at Frontline Pro for Home of the Brave.
Why?
I believe it's called For the Brave, because I'm committed and I have signed contracts, and I have to be there. I am committed to this company for better or worse for the rest of this calendar year. Ben has made statements like we will all bow to him. He had this promo that it's one of these promos that I didn't understand why, but why don't we bring it up?
Pro Wrestling. You're truly two-time Hall of Famer, The Thrill, here backstage. And unfortunately, it is my duty as a broadcast journalist to bring you the new Frontline Pro World Heavyweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the creator, Ben McCoy. Champ? I have to call you that now. Yes, you do. Now that you've had a little time to reflect on the actions that you took after Climb to Glory, if you're done reflecting in the reflection of that very championship, what do you have to say for yourself?
What do I have to say for myself? That's it. This is why you're an Emmy winner, man. This is it right here. What you're doing right now, the hard-hitting questions. How do I feel? Days, weeks have gone by. Am I okay with hitting a man in the head with a screwdriver multiple times? Am I okay with giving a screwdriver to another man to assault another one with a screwdriver? And the answer is yes. Yes, I am okay with it. I'm okay with all of it. Because unless you're living under a rock, Thrill, the ends justify the means.
Look at this crazy bastard.
I hear.
And in Wisconsin and the Midwest, it's one of the only ones that actually matter. You want to know why it actually matters? Because someone who's actually wrestled around the world can be the world champion now. And I get it. You fans are upset. Shaq Jordan losing the world title, while tragic and sad, is what's best for Frontline Pro. And that's what I'm about. What's best for Frontline Pro. And my existence as champion, while grotesque to you as it may be, makes Frontline Pro better. Because deep down in places you people don't like to talk about at parties, you need me in that ring because there's not anyone like me anymore. I'm the last of the breed. I broke the mold. There's nothing left, just me. And now everyone must bow to the creator. And I have just begun. I got a lot of people asking me, Thrill, what's going to happen next? What are you going to do, Ben? Where are you going to go? And that's the best part. None of you know, but I do. And all of you have to wait to find out. And just wait, Thrill. Just wait till you behold everything that's coming. And just wait till they see what happens to you Because Thrill, you will be a message to everyone, along with all the rest of them. And there's no one that can save you. Now, what do you want? I can think of one thing. You know, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. I think you know the difference. Maybe you're right, Ben. Maybe I don't care. So what are you gonna do about it exactly, Mr. Ranger? You know, now that you mention it, maybe I will do something.
All right, so there you have a little message from the creator from Frontline. And I invited him to share his thoughts with me on this show. And it was supposed to be about 4 minutes ago. So right now, the creator is not on time. The creator honors no commitment, and that's fine. I can say this very easily and very clearly. Ben, you're what's best for Frontline because you're the last of the breed. You're the creator. You are going to make Frontline better. I don't see how. Based on what I've seen so far, I don't see how. We will bow down before you. You have got to be fucking kidding me. There is not one person, Ben Evenson, Shaq Jordan, no one's bowing to you, Ben. I'm not even going to bow to you. And I'm just a commentator. I'm just the voice of Frontline Pro Wrestling. And you'll have to break my legs to make me bow to you. Now, people will say, Steve, he's been a professional wrestler for 20 years. He's wrestled in Japan. He'll kill you. Maybe so, but I'm not looking to wrestle. But I will always fight for what I believe in. I believe I've made that pretty obvious throughout the years, right? When called out as a man, I will take whatever ass whipping comes my way, and I'll be better off for it. I have been beaten up by better than Ben McCoy or Ben the Creator. I have been beaten up by many people. We remember going up against Aaron Stone, and he's one of the hottest commodities in wrestling today, one of the youngest prodigies out there. He beat the brakes off me, but I took it, and I kept coming back for more. So, Ben, if you think you're going to scare everybody, that you're some kind of psychopathic crazy man, we've seen this before. We've heard this before. There is a united front in the Frontline Pro Rocket Room. And if you think that the boys aren't going to stand and defy you, now I know you've got Muggsy and I know you've got Quinn, and that's a pretty formidable bunch. But we've got numbers, Ben, and unless you've corrupted the other half of the locker room, this is a fight you can't win. This is a fight you won't win. We're calling the next promotion For the Brave. What is For the Brave when you are nothing but a goddamn coward? We have watched time and time again as you have sneak attack, screwdrivers. You're proud of all that shit. That's the wrong thing to be proud of if you want to say you're the best in this business, because you couldn't hold half the people's jockstrap. You're a psychopathic, egomaniacal owner of a promotion. And now you're going carny because you strapped yourself. When you strap yourself as champion, it guarantees one thing: the promotion's going to be out of business in 6 months. But I love Frontline. I bleed Frontline. I will bleed for Frontline. We're not going to let you do it. We're not going to let you run this proud promotion in the ground. We are not going to let you besmirch the magistrate. It's not going to happen. There will be a resistance. We will resist you. And if you want to be Nathan Jessup, you want to drop movie quotes in your promo, very original. I believe The Rock did that wearing wristbands once, right, Ben? So if you want to drop movie quotes and you want to be the colonel it's untouchable, you're absolutely asking for disaster. Your regime will fall. You will be found guilty and charged for your aggressions. And as far as Muggsy James and Quinn Whittick go, I love those guys, but you are going to fall with your idiot leader. So at Frontline in July, when I return, I don't have to do anything but sit behind commentary and call the action. And I will. And I will be a professional, an absolute professional, because that's my job. But when you create bullshit and when you do questionable things, I will call you on that shit each and every time, regardless of what the outcome is. And since you weren't brave enough to pop in on this show when you're the one that suggested it, that tells me you're running scared, Ben. That tells me you're running scared. And that's all anybody at Rocket Pro needs to see. The creator thinks he's got everybody in his sights. You don't have anybody in your sights, Ben. And we will rise up against your tyranny, and we will bring Frontline Pro back to where it belongs. So that's my message. That's my promo. That's my feelings on this cascade of bullshit that the creator, the rapture is coming. Get the fuck out of Dodge. We're quoting a few good men and we're quoting the Bible. Are you crazy? Anyway, Ben, anytime you want to step up, I will have a discussion with you. But until the day you stop being a coward and having other people do your shit, don't waste our time. Don't waste our time, Ben, because that's all you're doing is you're wasting time. Don't miss For the Brave in July in Marshfield, Wisconsin, because it's all coming to a head. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll tell you what, you won't want to miss it. All right, that's the Frontline bit. Let us move on to the knockouts. And joining us,
No. Hey, y'all. How you doing?
it's Rion.
I'm just saying
Hey.
hi. I didn't want anything. I was in the area, so I had a chance to stop in. Just saying hello to everyone.
Look, it's the GOAT.
Hi, Goat. How are you today?
What's up, Ryan? How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm
Just stop by to get an orange sun
and
kiss.
that's why I can't be here because of that dumb shit. Not you, Red, not you. The man, the first thing he does is troll me. I can't do this. I have shit to do. So I'm just saying.
You're just stopping in for. Do you want some food to go?
No,
I'm here to help.
No, I just thought like the moment I just get on the screen, this motherfucker on the side, and probably on that side, based on how this is playing out. Look,
No,
that.
for me.
What is this? He been waiting. He been having him in the chain. I'm gone.
That's because he drank the Wizard's elixir.
I don't care.
That's all.
I don't care.
And that was Rion Skills. He stopped by for an orange soda and to get trolled by Pat.
Came to say hi, and I'm going.
Goodbye, Rion. It was nice to see. He came in to use the bathroom and get an orange soda.
Yeah.
I'm basically a 7-Eleven. That's what's happening here. I am podcast 7-Eleven.
Well, we can't say there was no sighting of Breon today.
Oh, Rion was here. All right, let's get right into knockouts too hot to handle.
I miss Breon.
Goat, I'm going to ask you a question straight away. Were you or were you not wearing pasties?
I was wearing pasties.
Yeah, Red just got all confused. Yeah, that's the shit that happened at Too Hot for Handle. I'm not there. That's why Rachel decided that I needed to be chaperoned. So the GOAT is here to make sure that we don't get off the rails, because I don't know what's legal to say or not say, because I saw some things and there was some shit. And I've lived in Homewood my whole life. Never seen anything like this in Homewood. I mean, you can go over to neighboring communities like Chicago Heights and you'll see some shit, but never in Homewood.
Well, we're very grateful to Homewood just for letting us put on these events. And I think, well, within the normal rules of what's there, I think we're still respectful. We didn't do anything we were not allowed to do. But granted, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's something that most folks did not expect. I mean, we talked it up, but we didn't want to drop any actual hints until people showed up inside, and then they could actually be like, oh, what are we watching? Okay, hopefully they all thought it was amazing.
So for those of you that weren't able to make it this past Saturday night, the Chicago Knockouts did not have a league match. This was kind of a special attraction match. It was kind of a blow-off match because now they're on summer hiatus until August. But talk about going out with a bang, and then some. First of all, I knew it was different because I'm sitting at the commentary desk and I'm watching them practice skate, and I'm watching all these skaters that I know who they are, and I've called many about, and I know who most of them are. But now they've all got different names and they've all got different characters and they've all got different outfits. And at that point, I started to perspire. I wasn't sweating. It was a little and it wasn't hot in the building. It was well tempered. It was nice and cool in there. But then I started to go, phew, this is serious. Then walking at me from across the floor comes my commentary partner. And Pax, I hope you have a picture. I hope you stalked Ramona Mirage on her Facebook page to get a picture of this person, because I have done commentary with partners for 11 years. That's almost 12. I'm heading into 12. So that's longer than, most relationships last. So I've been dealing with this for years, and I've had good commentary partners. I've had crappy commentary partners. I've had commentary partners that were just okay. I've had special guests. I've had superstars. Never in my life have I had this. When she glided across the gymnasium floor, like she was literally floating on air, everybody in the goddamn arena stopped. And it was like the light was coming down from heaven and hitting Ramona Mirage as she is literally floating. And then, unlike taking the stairs, like the only person that jumps up on the stage like a cat is the GOAT. Ramona, in platform heels, jumped up on that fucking stage.
Incredible.
And everybody was just like, what the fuck is happening? I must have said that phrase 60 times that night. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I heard that many times.
So Ramona, she was a spectacle unto herself. And I don't think I have ever had a person that has never done a bout or a wrestling match, that had no knowledge of it, be so prepared and so electric. It was absolutely, I feel like I want her back in August, and I don't know how that would work with a conventional bout, but she was amazing, right, Goat? I mean, we had a great time.
Oh yeah, well, August will also be another, so we call them the Rec League, WRECK League, and yeah, they're exhibition matches, so sort of like an end to the first half of the season and then an intro back before the playoffs. It's a little less pressure. It's still competitive, as you saw. It was very competitive, right? It was like within 2 points, I think. But it's not like we're not going balls out. Well, I guess we were balls out in this one.
There were balls out.
Literally,
there were
not
balls out. There
metaphorically.
were other members out. There were some people that had
Yes.
members that I didn't know.
Yes, right. It's a different form of match. There's a little bit less pressure. We're still competing. We're still competitive, but it's not.
There was
It's not
fucking blood.
ranking.
Somebody got bit.
Yeah. So So I do not mean in any way to say it's any less competitive. It's just a different form of competition.
It was very different. Yes, it had a whole different vibe. It was roller derby after dark, like we have been talking about for a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
In fact, I think Vixen's had the idea for about 5 years now, and a lot of folks have had some really good ideas and just ways to do it. And then it sort of came together. Amazing! I'll let Fierist chime in on it. Yeah, it kind of came together quickly, and people just they were all in. I mean, I would wager a lot of these folks probably had a lot of these outfits at least halfway done, if not already as part of their wardrobe. And some folks were like, you know what? Who needs blah, blah, blah? I got like 7 of these things. So it kind of worked out well.
First of all, let's welcome Mommy Fierist to the show. One of the seminal knockouts. She puts the knock in knockout. Welcome to the Power Hour for the first time. Glad you're on board tonight.
Thank you, darlings. It's so great to be here.
We were just talking, we had gotten to the point where, as I was watching the skate around with all of the skaters in new characters and different wardrobe, I wasn't sweating bullets at that point, but I was perspiring and had butterflies and was nervous. And then when Ramona Mirage walked across the stage as if she was floating on air and then hopped up in platform heels on the stage, I knew this was going to be unlike, anything I'd ever seen before. And that's where you come in. It's roller derby after dark, like we've been saying, but what a unusual night of chaos.
It certainly was. We were preparing for weeks, but as Goat said, the theme kind of came the real communication about it was a little later in the game than usual, but it was actually kind of this wonderful creative environment for us. And for me personally, I had a wonderful time exploring certainly a really new avenue for me, both in gameplay and in character. And it was a great time.
Is this one of your favorite? I mean, that was the thing that I noticed above all. In league matches, everybody's very serious. Everybody's got their game face on. Everybody was smiling, at least when they weren't beating the shit out of each other. But it seemed like everybody had a vibe. It was Team Tramp versus Team Camp, and it just had this vibe. There were a lot more smiles at this thing than I ever saw. I even saw you smiling quite a bit. You looked like you were having quite a time.
I had the best time. I jammed for my first time in my
I
whole
saw
life
that.
in a game, and that was just they talk about core memories that little kids make when they're playing team sports, and little mommy Ferris did not play team sports, so what a cool opportunity at this stage in life and in the game to be able to have everybody going BDE. It was great.
That's BDE is short for Big Dick Energy. That was Mommy's character name, and boy, at some point something dropped. It was an unidentified flying object. I don't know what it was. I'm not even going to suppose to understand what it was. But when that happened, I turned to Ramona. I'm like, "That's not what I thought." What? And she's like, "Oh, honey." I got a lot of oh honeys all night. So we were talking about Ramona a little bit. She was so natural at being my foil in commentary with what was happening. Her one-liners were great, and it was so well executed by you all. Everybody knew what role they were playing. Everybody knew what they were doing, and without having a roller derby match, you had a roller derby match under just the most ridiculous of circumstances. Now,
Sure.
I have been doing commentary in contact sports, for a long time now. And there was this situation where I believe Afro Bite Me bit Cunt Dracula.
Yes.
That's right. Those are the names, Red. Those are the fucking names, man.
I
That's what I
love
was
that
dealing with all
sentence. I
night.
hope people quote it.
Yep. Please, all over, quote it everywhere.
So there was the biting incident, and Cunt Dracula was soaked in her own blood because Aphrodite decided to turn the tables on the vampire. So there were fangs everywhere. Okay. So when the bite happened, I don't know how this was a byproduct of the bite, but suddenly Cunt Dracula was shirtless. And then she goes to the sin bin. And I'm like, commentary going, "Are you okay? You're bleeding. Are you all right?" And she turns to me as if she'd been rehearsing it for years and looked at me like I was just this child, like I was child. And I believe I was
mortal,
because I've never seen anything like. She goes, "They're just tits, Steve." And I was just like, and Ramona started laughing, and we broke character. And of all the commentary moments I've had over the years, the way she looked at me and what she said, it might be the greatest moment of my commentary life. It was just like, well, she's right. They're just tits. So that's what I got out of it. What did you get out of it?
Well, not just tits, although can I please just say, Ramona, your tits are fabulous.
They were from a synthetic standpoint, they were amazing. And her nipples kept popping out. So that wasn't my fault. I'm a gentleman. I'm old. So, I'm like a father figure. So I just go there and do my work and go home. But there slips and all kinds of crazy shit.
I appreciate people that are, getting on target with this stuff, right? That, getting on board.
It was, I love every bout, but there was something supernatural about this one. And, at one point, One of the skaters tripped, and I blamed it on the ghost of Ricky Ricochet haunting the rafters of the building. And all the people are skating, and yet on one end you've got Beetlejuice, Ricky Ricochet, and Punchline watching the action. That's how electric this was. You have three of the best roller derby performers watching the match, and that's how good it was.
Yeah. We had several first-time skaters that have, in fact, I think there were 4 on team camp. And that was a really special experience, I think, to share with them, because my first experiences skating were really fun and joyful like that too, and it was kind of cool to be able to remove the pressure of the sports performance aspect of things and really turn the tables on it, because in my mind, I was on team camp and we won by points, but I also think we won by pops. We were making that crowd get up and yell and make noise, and so having fun was the thing that I told my my baby skaters was the goal here. That don't worry about any of the rest of it. And I think that it had this really cool impact, at least for me, in that I didn't have any pressure to perform sport wise, and I actually skated harder and better than I ever have ever. So
it was an amazing night of entertainment, and that's what you guys did. You entertained in the best possible ways, in a way that kind of blurred the lines a little bit with what you normally do, and you pushed the envelope as far as the envelope could be pushed without being straight up raunchy. You pushed it, you got right there, but you backed off when you needed to. And then halftime happened. And Red, this is the part that you missed, that I think that, there's nothing I'm going to be able to say that does it any kind of justice, but we're going to give it a shot. So, like all great sporting events, the Super Bowl, the World Series, NBA Finals, there's a halftime show or a show at the 7th inning stretch where somebody comes out and does a performance. We remember Michael Jackson in '93 and Prince back in 2006. We all remember these great halftime shows.
Don't forget Janet Jackson.
The Knockouts delivered the goods, because Essence Dance Studios came out and gave a pole dancing expedition, and there were many dollars flying around the floor of the HF Auditorium. And it's pretty cool because Jen and Tonic, one of the great roller derby people, she was doing jam ref duties at this particular show, is part of this dance notice. So she was the liaison to get that here. And wow, the pop they got. Wow, the pop they got. And, there were just some things they were doing on that pole that I've never seen before. Like the force of going up and then coming all the way. I was just like, God.
That drop? Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. It was all ages of dancer, from the middle of the pack to the older to the young. And it's like everybody's doing it. And, I think Jen was going to do it, but we kind of ran out of time because, the performances are very involved and very long. So, if we do this again, maybe she'll get a chance to show what she can do, because I know she takes dance very seriously and she's incredibly gifted at it. But what a halftime. And then the second half came, and Hell in a Handcart just kind of pulled up and said, here we are. And Boss riding around with the Bikini Drill, driving around with a protruding drill that just made me realize that I haven't scheduled my proctology appointment, and now I'm never going to, because that's all I'm going to think of now. You ain't going near me, bro. Ain't going near me. Not when I have that in my head. You'd be like an oil rig. I thought she was going to try to cut the wall and get the diamonds that have been hidden there since the gangster eras or something. So many great characters. Femboss was representing the Austin Powers films, and I'm going to take that back to the Bionic Woman, where the Fembots originated. So, that's 8-year-old Steve that was in love with the Bionic Woman going crazy. So my inner child threw up all over HF Auditorium because that's how powerful the images and the messages were. You know, it's not the TNA, so to speak. It's the great stories that were being told. And we do wrestling because we love stories. And you guys told some of the most amazing stories. And at one point, Goat died. I'm glad to see you feeling better, but they put a cover over him like a morgue, and we thought he was dead. And Judgment Dave, who is a priest, I think somehow resurrected him. And I don't know how that works because I didn't have the greatest vantage point, but there were medics and everybody was in, and it was hushed silence. The hush fell over the crowd. There was a death.
Well, you know what? Listen, you know, I get on our beloved Russian's case because, you know, she's an envelope pusher, right? She'll just be like, I'm not fucking putting up with your shit. We're doing this. Why are you refs always getting in our way from actually trying to execute? And I'm just like, look, man, you know, I get that I'm kind of a stickler for the rules, whatever, but she had enough, you know, because there was some penalty that had happened, and Dave's like, I got to deal with this. Can you please just go get people from the camp? So I'm like, okay. So I go over there and I'm like, let's go, guys, let's go. And they're just like, what? And she's just like, oh, this motherfucker. So she comes up, and then, yeah, unfortunately, you know, she just delivered. She was just like, I had enough. And yeah, I think I
killed you.
lost it for a minute there. I was just out and I had no idea what happened. And all of a sudden I'm like, what? I was like, I felt way better afterwards. I was like, oh, I feel great. My head feels cleared. Whatever she did, I was like, I almost wanted to shake her hand. I was like,
so
hey, you're my buddy. What is this? And I just felt great the rest of the night.
That's not good. If you like that, that's bad. That's a bad vibe.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever happened, I was like, you know, sure.
But so many things have been, and there's a nice picture of the actual fembots from Austin Powers. Forget the idiot at the front of the line who got photoshopped. But that's exactly what Boss was wearing. Now, I was not wearing that. I had an outfit underneath my suit in case somebody tried to take liberties for Rion. I would have taken off the suit and gone down and whipped somebody's ass because I was ready for Marley and Boss's bullshit. Because I saw what they did to my guy Rion, and I was ready to. It was an eye for an eye shit. And I wasn't going to get on skates, but I had my shit on to fight. It was going to be some Superman bullshit, but I was ready, but it never came to it. Rion was safe. And the Bros were the fight refs. And I believe they were fight reffing in Colorado because every time a fight would start, it would be like an hour, like they were an hour behind. And then they would get involved in the fight was already winding down, and then they'd show up. Because, you know, the Bros are stoned and they have no idea what's going on. That's why I question the idea of them being fight refs. But that's neither here nor there. So my question to both of you is this. I mean, you have to be happy with the way this turned out. I mean, to me, it's an unmitigated success. Is that how everybody in the Knockouts organization is feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think, a lot of people afterwards just said they had just the best time, and we were, I think it just all came together as it needed to, and just was executed super well. And, you know, we were like, great, this, you know, when magic happens, it happens, as you know. And we were like, just so thrilled with just how upbeat everyone was about the bout. You know, and, you know, given we've had to sort of, I don't want to say the word temper, but we've had to sort of, you know, given February, right, how we started off, it was real rough. Everybody was playing at 110% because they'd been caged up for couple of months.
Lowest score I ever saw.
Right. But so now, given that we've adjusted to being in the auditorium, so I could tell towards the edge, people's inclination is just push off the edge, right? But I could tell people were like, we're not going to push off. We will cut you off. So you still can't pass. We're just not going to do it this way. We're just going to kind of do it. You know, they've definitely acclimated so that people are not getting pushed out to the outer edge as much. And given that it was still hyper competitive, so people, and given the outfits, we were like, hey, there's a little bit more of a risk here because we have slightly less protective gear on. We had all the padding, but, you know, people were more stuff exposed. So it's like, with all those constraints, I think it was, people played so competitively and so well. And then everybody seemed just kind of high on a high at the end of the night.
Oh yeah, there's some motherfuckers that were high, all right. But that
Well,
was
that's
the after
true. That
party, and
too.
we don't. What happens at the after party stays at the after party, which was
Yes.
a fucking mob scene. I felt like I was waiting in line for concert tickets to get a drink. But that's how many people went, and there were a lot of fans that came up to me and said, you know, we read your review of it coming up to it, and you said you can't miss it because you don't know what's going to happen. You were right, and I'm like, I was wrong because this was way more than I ever thought it could be. So maybe I was right, and I'm glad you came because of it. But I was wrong because this was more than I mean. This was. I'd like to see a Too Hot to Handle part 2, at least so I can prepare properly and not just be like a child watching people go around the track going, I don't know what to say. Too many times I was speechless because I didn't have what can you say to that? Well, how do you call a jam with Captain Winter Titties? That's the Marvel movie I never saw, Red. I never saw that Marvel movie. Never saw it.
You know what? That bitch actually, she started fucking with me, and I'm not really very happy with that. And you know, I think you're gonna have to watch out for some rematching here because I am not going to take that shit from that little
God help us
grumpy
all
thing.
if there is a sequel to this story, but I have a feeling it has to happen at this point. I don't see this just being a one and done because everybody was too amped at the after party everybody wanted to go back and do it again while they were at the after party. And that I think is amazing.
So there were two things that happened at the after party that were pretty great. There was a wedding.
I must have left too early, but I'm old.
Yeah.
I can't stay out much. I can't stay out too long. I'm tired all the time. There was a wedding. Who's married?
I can't tell. I'm not allowed to tell. That's not my news, but I can say that somebody got married and they did it here. And I can also tell you, we discovered the coolest new game, and kids are going to be playing it across the country, I'm sure. The game is to take one of those rubber dongs that has like the suction cup on it, and you stand about, I don't know, about 12 feet in front of the door at Rabid, okay? And it's best if you've had a few cocktails and it's, you know, going on 2 a.m. or thereabout. And you take that thing and you fling it as hard as you can at the glass, and you hope that it's because it's going to go end over end, and you're hoping that it's going to suction cup itself right onto the window.
We're just going to call that toss the penis.
Yeah, well, we're calling it dong tossing instead of like the water bottle tossing. It's dong tossing, yeah.
Dong pong or something.
Dong pong, there you go. But it was, you know, people were close. It was good. People were trying to get it real high up there too, so it couldn't be taken down.
I hope
I liked it. I like actually Fierce had a really good idea for even decorating Rabid. If the, you know, with that theme going forward, possibly we'll see.
Well, this just made this made Judgment Dave night a little more interesting. I wonder if the dong makes a return this Saturday night at Rabid Brewing.
Oh yeah, we were suggesting maybe leave the dong on the gaming shelf. So who knows? You know,
well, you never know. Guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to fill in for Rachel and give us all the dirt on what happened at Too Hot to Handle. I personally love both of you. It is such a joy for me to work with you all on a regular basis. Mommy, I love your character. Big Dick Energy is just an extension of awesome. And Goat, you're my guy. I'm reading your math book as we speak, and we're going to talk about that in August. Thank you both so very much for joining us tonight. And hopefully I'll see you both next Saturday night at Judgment Dave night.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Steve. You are the best. Thank you for being part of this and just, you know, just being the center of that event and just delivering it. You know, when I'm hearing you the whole time, you're flawless. Like, thank you. You know, I'm so happy I have recordings of you on my 8-track. So I actually have like a high quality recording. I'm like, the commentary I love it, man. You guys are fantastic. Thank you.
It is my favorite.
Giving us the time and everything.
It is my favorite thing to do of all the things that I do. So I just appreciate you guys letting me do it when I can. And I just love being a part of the Knockouts family. It just warms my heart and warms a few other things after Too Hot for Handle. That's for fucking sure. But thank you both so much. We'll see you next time. And now that Mommy Fierce has been here, we're going to have to get you your own episode because I want to talk to you for an entire 2-hour period about your life in roller derby. So I'll be contacting you soon, young lady.
All right there, Pally.
All right. Thanks, guys. We will catch
right.
you down the road. I
Thank you.
appreciate you taking time tonight. That, of course,
Thank you.
the GOAT of Menendez and Mommy Fearist from the Chicago Knockouts roller derby talking about Too Hot to Handle. Well, better late than never. Let's just do this now. Here comes the creator. Always making a dramatic entrance. It's the creator. It's Ben.
Ooh, he's so mad. He's so upset. Hold on here. Before we get before we get going here, I know you want to see the girl. So hold on. There we go. That's better. Now we can do this the right way, and you can address a world champion who's actually wrestled around the world. You know, something you're not used to doing.
Ben,
With all your file local talent guys that you use down there in Chicago. How many of those boys ever left that state? How many, Steve? Tell me.
there are a few. Listen,
waiting.
I'm not getting into a pissing contest with you tonight. If you had been here at the beginning of the show, and this will give you
I show up when I decide.
I know you do.
I make the times.
I know you do it. I got you. You might want to listen to the opening. I'm gonna leave that right there for you, and just.
Oh, and I'm sure. Let me guess, Stephen. You were witty, weren't you? You had a nice little banter, didn't you? Let me guess. You had like some fancy artistic monologue. You went all Shawshank Redemption about honor and codes and all this crap about doing the right thing, right, Stephen? You had all this stuff about taking high roads, right?
Yes.
It's pumpkin. I just don't understand how a guy like you finds it upon himself to have the right to judge a guy like me when, I mean, let's be honest, Stephen, you're a spectator, you're a fan, you're a fly on the wall. You're here because, well, let's be honest, guys like me gently and benevolently allow you to be. You know, we let you.
That's
you know,
fair.
we put up with you. You know, and that's okay. You're talented. You got quirks about you. You can funk, you know, way to go. But then you do things, Steve, that piss me off because you do things that mock the sport of professional wrestling, like throwing your big, dumpy pumpkin ass inside of a singlet and wrestling down in Indiana. Now, I know you think that by running all the way down south that nobody will notice that you're making a mockery of the sport that I've busted my ass, given my knee, my face, and my shoulder for. But I mean, I digress, because as long as you get to play cosplay and dress up with your buddies down in Indiana, then that's all right, right? Because as long as Steve gets to be a little superstar in his own tiny little world, then that makes everything okay. But let's not tell anybody about it, Steve, because let's be honest. Let's really be honest. You're embarrassed about it. You are. Like, come on. You're not an athlete. I mean, look at you. Look at me. Look at what I've done. Look at what you've done. I mean, but yet, and I know I should shut up and let you talk, but god dang it, man. It's just like all those social media warrior posts you do about being this, like, what are you going to do? Like, let me ask you something. If you were in a room with me and nobody was watching, Steve, what would you do? If I went and put my hands on you, like, let's be honest. Do you really think a guy who's militarily combatively trained by the United States Army is going to lose to you, Steve? So that leaves the question: why all the bowstring? Why all the big talk? Why all the stuff like you're going to do something? I don't understand. Walk me through it.
Let me try to make you understand this. If we got into a room together, there would be no physical situation of any kind. I would appeal to the man that hired me. I would try to find somewhere in that maniacal thing you call a brain, bulletproof Ben McCoy. I would try to find the guy that started Frontline Pro Wrestling for the right reasons, that handpicked a roster of good men for the right reasons, that helps people for the right reasons. I shuffled my entire work schedule to be a part of that man's company because I believe in that man. Ben, I don't want to fight you. I shouldn't fight you. You're right. You've wrestled.
You absolutely, definitely shouldn't fight me. That would not be good for your health.
You've wrestled around the world. You are a bona fide superstar. Japan, United States, up and down the road, coast to coast. I get it. You are that guy. You have a legacy that is unmatched by most. But here's the thing. I believe in Frontline Pro. I believe in Frontline Pro so much that I refuse to let Frontline Pro go down a road that it doesn't deserve. What you have done, popping off to the magistrate, getting your little band of miscreants to use screwdrivers to strap yourself. This isn't the man I followed. This isn't Bulletproof Ben McCoy. I don't know who the fuck you are. I'm not sure I want to know who the fuck you are. But contractually, I am obligated to return in July to For the Brave. And I will be there, and I will do my job to perfection, as professional as I can. But I'll tell you what. There are many just like me that aren't going to let you ruin Frontline. I'm not alone. I'm one voice. And you're talking about me cosplaying. And that's funny. And, you know, there's an ounce of truth in everything you say. And I'm a big boy. I'll admit it. But I'll tell you this. I have been trained. I can do things. I know my way around the ring. I have seen and heard and called everything. I have a few wins under my belt against people that are good, that are talented.
You don't say.
I do say. So if you decide at some point to come at me physically, well, I guess we'll just see. Ben, I can't tell you what's going to happen.
I'll tell you what, when Tony Storm gets a hold of Wendy Richter, I'll come for you. Until then, we'll figure out a way to keep you engaged and involved, because you got to remember, Steve, I don't want you to go home. No. That doesn't. You need to be in the game, Steve. You have to. You're going to be the one who tells them all. Don't you get it? You should be happy. I don't understand why you're so sad. It makes me upset. Like, I don't understand. You should be happy. You literally get to be the voice of the creator. You literally get to trumpet my message to the masses. And yet, instead of being happy about it and saying, thank you so very much for this opportunity, as well as the money that we absorbently pay your massively overinflated contract, we pay it anyway. And yet, you feel like it's a demotion. You feel like there's something wrong. And this is what I find funny. You sit there and act like you know me, like you've ever known me at all. You want to know what's really funny? You want to know who you should really be mad at? The guy on the screen right next to you. Because that man has known exactly who I am this entire time. Because it's the same guy that was there a decade ago, kicking the shit out of all of his little skinny toothpick soul touches, all up and down Elite Pro, and anywhere else they would run and try to hide away from me and my brother Chase. Willie the Bomb? Willie the who? Willie the what? Come on. Give me a break. You guys really think I'm afraid of Marche Rocket? How about Marche Dad Bod Rocket gets back in the gym, and then we can talk about having an actual match. And then on top of that, Chris Logan, whenever he decides to take his nose out of the air from sniffing his own shit about how great Wrestle League is, he can bring it back down and look at the man who he's never fought, the man who he's always ran from, the man who for 20 years he won't sign the contract for. And I find it funny, Steve, because remember that? I went all the way down there. You were there. I went there. I challenged him right to his face. And what did he do, Steve? Be honest now. Don't just be mad at me because you don't like me. He punked out. I'll take it a step farther. He punk bitched out. Straight up. Did he show up? Did he take the contract? We agreed on the money. We agreed on the time, the place. And then guess what happened? Ghosted. Nothing at all. But they're the final level, right? They're awful. They're just these unbeatable massive giants.
you know what? I find that funny because I raised you a steak. I got a nice little team from Magnum Pro Wrestling. As a matter of fact, they're the Magnum Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions of the World. Brixton Nash, Jameson McGregor, the Crucible. Why don't the Final Level boys try them on? You want to know why? Because they know that if they do, they'd be left on a stain in the map. And that would be the end of any level of anything for either of them. And Marche could go be Marche Dad Rocket, and Mr. Chris Logan could go back to solving all the crimes in Chicago and go back to his day job. And that could be what was best for everybody. But no. They got to play to their egos and their vanity, you know? And that's fine. That's fine. Because that's what all of you Chicago and Illinois guys do. It's because it's never about how good Wisconsin is. It's all about the Chicago ego. And the double wordplay is in there.
Okay.
Do I look afraid of anybody? Does it look like I'm worried about what anybody's going to say when they see this?
Nope.
Really? Because you want to know why? It doesn't matter. I have this right here, that right there. And as long as I have that, and as long as those two letters keep pumping and keep driving professional wrestling to being something better, I don't see an issue. And if you want me stopped so bad, Steve, okay, I understand. I get it. You don't like my methods. You feel I'm crass and maybe a little unethical, possibly downright merciless, spiteful, malicious, malice, right? You're going with all those. And I gotta admit, that you're not wrong. Those words all fit me. But I've been called worse by worse people around the world. In Afghanistan, I was an infidel. In Japan, I was a gaijin. In America, I'm a tyrant. And that's fine. Because I'm still the best. I'm still the 7-time around the sun world's champion. And here I sit with this belt at 41 years old. And yet all these young cats can't get off their ass and come and catch a clue, much less me.
Okay, Ben. I've heard enough. You come on my show and you drop dime on some of my good friends, and that's fine. You can do what you do, and that's fine. And I'll be back. I'll be up there. I'll do my job. But here's the thing, Ben, and I mean this. And I said this at the beginning of the show. We played your promo that you poisoned Will the Thrill with. We played it in its entirety. And I saw the look in Ben Evenson's eyes.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. I'm going to stop right there. You're going to get on the Captain America Army Ranger train, aren't you?
You're
going to do it, aren't you?
All day, Ben.
Do it. A guy who's never won a world title in his entire career. A guy who's wrestled longer than me. And you know what? Okay, Steve, I'm going to give you everything you wish for. I'll give Ben Evenson a World Heavyweight Championship match at For the Brave on July 27th. Up close and personal, you can call it yourself. Sound good?
I think that's fantastic because at this point, it's going to take someone like battle-tested Ben Evenson to knock some sense into you. And there's one point you made in your promo that I would like to refresh your memory with. And this is where my opening adventure went. You said everybody's going to bow before you.
Oh, they're going to bend the knee. You included, Stephen. It's just a matter of time.
Never bow to you. And if you like to do quotes, you like to be Colonel Nason Jessup, you want me to put you on the stand, you want to have that moment, Ben. Let's go back to that one movie where a guy stands up in the face of tyranny and says, there are always men like you. I've been around this business long enough to see you are not the first, you won't be the last, but it always ends the same fucking way, Ben.
Does it though? Steve, does it though? Am I really like everybody else? Stephen, a bullet to the face couldn't kill me. And you're going to sit there and have the audacity to say that I'm like everybody else? Men on this earth are no longer with us because of me. And you're going to sit there and relegate me to be one of the casual cow masses? Stephen, I'm disappointed. I'm not hurt, but disappointed. I expected a little more from you. I guess it's like how all the bad guys feel when they look at the good guy and think, I thought you'd be taller. But you know what? The last thing I will say is this. Because I do know you have a show to do, and I don't want to ruin any more of Red's day. He looks so sad, but it's okay. I'll end it with this, Stephen. You bring up Will the Thrill. I've known him for a long time, and I've heard through everybody that you two have really just thick as brothers,
He's a
best
great
friends,
guy.
best pals. You love him to death, like
do.
the brother you never had. Heard all about it.
I do.
On July 27th, Stephen, I'm going to hurt your best friend. I'm going to hurt him with a screwdriver right in front of you, Steve.
No.
And guess what? There is nothing you're going to be able to do. You're going to watch. You're going to watch in horror. You want to know why, Steve? Because you're a coward.
Oh.
You're a coward like all your heroes. Because if they were as bad as you, they say, and you're as horrible as you act like they are, I wouldn't be here right now with this.
Okay.
It's all no. Because first I take your friends. Then I'm going to take your heroes. And when it's all said and done and I feel satisfied, Steve, then I'm going to come and take you. I meant what I said online. You're already dead, kiddo. You just don't know it yet. And with that, I bid you a pardon, a fair farewell, and a good goodbye and a good journey. But I will end it with this one last time. And for the brave, remember one thing. Have eyes in the back of your head, Steve, because nobody ever said it was just me. Nobody ever said it was just Muggsy. And now, we can say now on this podcast, nobody ever said it was just Quinn Whittick.
Son of a bitch.
But now that it's the three of us, the only question remains is, who's next? Not when, not if, not how, but who. And maybe it's the guy right next to you on that screen. How well do you know Red? Because you didn't see Quinn coming, and you didn't see Muggsy coming, and you damn sure didn't see me coming. So, Steve, what makes you think that I'm supposed to believe that you're going to see what I have planned coming next? But I promised you, you'll be entertained.
Guess we'll find out. Happy trails.
Toodles, pumpkin.
See you in July, Peaches.
You most certainly will. With bells on.
Let me please respond.
Hang on 1 minute, Brad, before you respond. Let me get Pauly in here.
Please do.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. You
Oh, here he
run the
comes.
board.
Here he comes.
You run the board.
Pauly Thomaselli is in the house.
No, he ain't. He ain't got no voice. He ain't got no screen.
I heard him talk. I know he's in there with a voice. He's just got to get his camera up and running, and we'll talk to him. He's going to save our show because it's turned into a pile of shit. Red, say what you were going to say. I'm sorry he cut you off, and I'm sorry about what he said.
What? Here's the truth. Ben McCoy is still salty because they got their ass whipped by us. I'm sorry. But you put Marche, Jazz, or Willie in a ring with him and his brother, what happens? They got their ass. Sorry. So now you call Marche the dad bod. Clearly, he has not seen Marche in the gym. So, again, you know, he asked if you could trust me. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know,
called me a coward, Fred. Do you think I'm a coward?
First of all, if you two were in the fucking room together, again, I know you, and I know you well enough to know that you.
Hey, didn't you retire from wrestling, Red? Why are you talking about being out by a ring and managing people and stuff?
I'm talking about elite days.
Oh, right, when stuff mattered.
Wow. Well, right before you, we had a visit from my boss and good friend up in North, Bulletproof Ben McCoy.
Why would you have me on with him? He's actually one of my good friends, one of the few people I actually like in the wrestling business.
This is not someone you'd like. This is creator Ben. He's a cocksucker.
Oh, I know. It's fantastic. Everything Ben does is fantastic.
No, it's not fantastic. But
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Pauly,
And the Elite Days, Ben was like a child getting beat up by adults. And Marche was a child hanging out with adults back then. It was a long time ago. It's like 100 years ago.
but here we are today.
Yeah, put it this way, I was under 200 pounds in the Elite Days at a couple points. So it's a long time ago.
You had a
I
mighty
didn't have gray hair. I had hair back then. Shit.
We all had hair. Oh, there he is. That's the Pauly Thomaselli I like. That's the
I just came in. That looks stupid. I thought,
Hey, fuck that. Fuck all the bullshit. Pauly, congratulations.
Congratulations, Pauly.
oh, thank you. Thank you.
I
You're gonna
don't,
be a married man. You're gonna be a happily married man to a great woman. That's exciting, bro.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. I called it on here a long time ago. Yeah, because I remember when I said it, Steve, you're like,
I
what
was.
did you just say?
Oh God.
You're like, who's this guy that sits here and Peter asks most people that walk into a room? You're like, he's talking nice about someone. Holy shit.
I was gonna screenshot it and send it to you when it exploded, but it didn't explode. It prospered like a beautiful flower in the forest.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know what she sees in me, but she sees something enough to say yes. So we got that going for us, which is
I
nice.
think she makes you a better person, and I think you make her a better person. And I think let's make it, because I've had a chance to meet her, and I got the chance to sit at a wrestling show and kind of watch you two interact. And I can totally see why this works.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. And we're so happy for you. All the power ballad stuff aside, when you find the one, it's a moment that should be celebrated.
Yeah,
and
you kind of want to hold on to them, They're
down the road for many years doing many different things. You've got a daughter. You've done everything a man could do in a lifetime. And now here you are in a good relationship, being happy. And I think that's
a very good relationship, man. She's
the amazing part. You deserve it, and I'm sure she deserves it, because she seems like a pretty smart person. And if you were questionable, I think she'd have kicked you to the curb by now. So you must be a pretty good dude.
Yeah. It definitely took my my salesmanship as a pro wrestler to get her. Because when
Chi promo.
Yeah, when Joey Chichi wanted to hook us up, all I did was show her a photo. And she's like, well, I like bald, beard, and tattoos. Sure, I'll give this guy a shot. And then we start talking, and she finds out I'm only 5'8", 5'9" with good shoes on. And she's like, ooh. I usually date dudes that are 6 feet tall. I'm like, you're a height supremacist. Like, holy shit, you're a goddamn height supremacist. The only box I didn't check for her was my height. And I said, well, how about we, don't worry about our heights and things like that, and let's get to know one another. And it went from meeting just after Halloween to making things official just after Thanksgiving to saying I love you just before Christmas, and go from there. And we actually I was messing with it the other day, because in the very beginning I told her, one day I want to marry my best friend. This was in the right after we said I love you to each other and things. And she's like, well, I don't know if I could ever be your best friend. I have a best friend. And I was like, okay. And so then the other day, she's like, you're my best friend. And I went, no. Yeah. I go, that's your words thrown back at you, but it's just funny. We truly have found in each other a new best friend, if you will. And I'm literally dating or engaged to the female version of me. So when it comes to ball busting, when it comes to being passionate about things, when it comes to personality and stuff, I've found my equal that knows when I say something stupid, I'm not just trying to be an asshole, that I'm actually having a good time. Or I don't have to have like a buzzword or like a code word like, pumpernickel. Oh, he's just joking around now. It's fine. So it works out pretty nice,
You are very clearly outkicked your coverage with her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. I'm
in 20 years,
almost a say an ogre, as I always say.
And in 20 years, when you're having some kind of surgery to fix something that broke during wrestling, she'll still look great, and you'll be like, "Will you please get me out of bed so I can wipe my butt?"
Yeah, it's a good thing I have a bidet,
There
so
you
we got
go.
that going.
And you should have a bidet. Why wouldn't a Thomaselli have a bidet?
I think every person in America should have a bidet. I think it should just be given to everyone. They're the best. So there's nothing like walking around with the confidence of having a clean tuchus. That's what I always say. So
Cleanliness, as they say, is next to godliness, and a clean butt sends the right.
there's really nothing better than a clean butt. I'm sorry. It's just there's
And
nothing better.
there's a good picture of the engagement.
Yeah, that's pretty much right after it happened. That's my profile picture. She had no clue at all that it was going to happen that day. So that made it even better.
Went from a great romantic picture to a picture of the
Right.
toilet. Yeah,
Right.
Hey, come on.
There's something wrong with him tonight. I think that's a bidet, but I'm not sure. I think he might be confused about what a bidet is, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh no, that's the attachment that you can get on Amazon.
Oh, okay. So that makes every toilet a bidet.
You can get anything you want. About $40 and you got a clean ass. It's nothing better.
Oh, that's splendid. Why shouldn't we all have clean butts?
Even my dad made a joke. Oh, you should buy me one of those for Father's Day. And then like Father's Day roll around the next time and I didn't do it. He's like, why did you get one? I'm like, I thought you were joking. So then I waited like another year and I got it for him. And he's like, I'm so mad at you right now. Why? I had to wait this long. He's like, I love walking around with a clean asshole. Good to know, Dad. Good to know.
Those are the memories that, when you're old and gray, sitting on that rocking chair on the porch going, I remember the clean ass situation.
Yeah. That's going to be, I'm going to tell that story at his funeral one day, sadly, but it's going to make people laugh.
So you had a busy weekend, my friend. Let's talk a little. We weren't able to get you on before the weekend.
No.
Removed yet a couple of shows. Did I see you fight Machine?
I did fight Machine.
Do you have brain damage? Why would you do that?
I love fighting with Machine, man.
He's on like the second stage of his career where he doesn't give a fuck about anything. He's just playing with house money.
I would even say third stage because I knew Machine wrestling, when he was wrestling with my brother when I was still in high school.
Right.
So, I mean, I knew him back from the LWF days, way before, working with him at Blitz or PCW or when I first started or any of that stuff. So, yeah, I've known Machine well over 20 years now, which is crazy. And so for me, working with him is a day off or a night off, depending on what time the show starts. And I love it. I love it. We always have fun and we always come up with something fun to. There's always a rib or something that comes out of it, so it always makes it a good time.
So this was the Sunday show, right? Where you fought?
No, this was Saturday. I had two shows.
Afternoon show, right?
Yeah. So the first one was Wolfomania at Wolf Den Brewery in Bloomingdale, which I highly recommend anyone if you're in the Bloomingdale area to go check this place out. Awesome food. I think Thursday nights, I want to say Thursday nights, 4 to 9 or half price burgers, if I remember correctly. But tell them Pauly sent you because I freaking love that place. And it's funny, I didn't even know that place existed up until a couple months ago. And then Jess, my fiance, she was like, hey, do you know there's a wrestling show coming up at Wolf Den? I'm like, the hell is Wolf Den? She's like, the brewery by our house. I'm like, there's a brewery by our house? What? So yeah, no, and then I found out, who was running and stuff, and I'm like, get me on that show. Thank you. And so I definitely, if you can see her there, I'll kick my coverage like you said, Steve. So yeah.
Did she just bring you a beer? You better lock that shit up forever, bro.
Even better, a Monaco.
Okay, well.
Which was my Father's Day gift from her mom and dad. It was the UFC knockout 6-pack, which is awesome, by the way. So I'm not sponsored by Monaco. I wish I was. I didn't know how I'd feel about the grapefruit. It is amazing.
You're just living your best life.
I really am. I'm a lucky man.
So talk us about the matchup with the Machine. What did we miss?
Well, you missed Ultimate Pauly, as you saw with the face paint. Whenever I do my face paint, that's like Finn Balor doing the demon.
Yep.
Just I do the same thing, but not as cool as face paint. So, and that all started from last year at Chicago Nightmare Street when they wanted us to be Viking, Mad Max X type people, and I went with Kratos, Road Warrior Hawk type face paint. So then I get excited to do it. I did it at RPW, and then I always ask now, what do you want? You want Ultimate Pauly or not? I get excited because my favorite rides growing up were always, Road Warriors, Ultimate Warrior, those guys. So, so you missed Ultimate Pauly, if you will. And then the best part about it was my daughter's mom wanted to bring my daughter and the girl she's fostering to the event, because it turns out as of last Wednesday, the girl she's fostering turned into a huge wrestling fan because we went to the Schaumburg Boomers game and it was wrestling night. So that's it. I just saw the picture. We met Braun Strowman. He was just there hanging out. And I was like, yo, that's freaking Braun Strowman. And now Jess, being a huge wrestling fan, she's like, we got to meet him. I'm like, let's go see if we can see if I can pull some strings. And we're lucky enough we were able to meet him. And he was cool as can be. And he found out we were workers. And then sexy Sandra D, she goes, oh yeah, see this little girl right here? Because Double was it. She was like, she's gotten in the ring with her dad before, and she slapped the shit out of him because I was with Ruthless Ramon. We were hanging out, kayfabe, right? Breaking kayfabe, but we were all hanging out. And he goes, what? She's like, yeah, I kind of hit his partner really hard. He's like, well, don't hit me too hard, honey. Don't hit me. This
You don't want to get these hands.
If you see the photo of him, I barely come up to his shoulder. The monster among men is not a good name for him. He is a monster among monsters. That man is gigantic.
I met him at Great Lakes, and
yeah,
when I was managing Backwoods, and he walked in, and it was like, you know how a lot of times you think shit is overinflated, height and weight and shit.
It's like the first time I met Billy Gunn. You're just like, hello, sir. Like, wow,
right.
You are gigantic.
Dude, me and Trauma talk about that story all the time because we worked and he came in and we didn't know, and we both what? And again, to get your ass whooped later by Billy Gunn.
Even better. I got to work with him at one of those Blitz baseball shows years ago. So that was awesome.
Dude, we awesome. Wind up running in, and I was like,
you're like, hello, sir. Anything you want, I will do that tonight.
No, because we weren't in that particular match. We weren't supposed to be involved. But
you told me this story before. On the podcast.
Yeah, but the champ got hurt, so we had to run out there and make the save. And
I think you purposely hurt the champ so you can go be a mark and hang out with him in the ring.
And then he fucking punched the shit out of Trauma, and then famously Willie, and then I'm sitting on the corner like.
As someone that's been in the ring with Trauma, I'd like to punch the shit out of him sometimes too. I get it.
Did you get famouser Red?
Is that Pat Ackerman's face on Braun Strowman's body?
It is, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, that is. I'm gonna call my new best friend Braun and tell him you're Paul.
I have to tell you something, Pauly.
With that fucking nerd.
Forgive PX. We were at the Super Wrestler show, and we were Nolan the fucking Wizard fight. And Nolan the fucking Wizard had a magic elixir.
Yeah, I heard the gimmick. We're using our superhero names now, right?
What now?
Yeah, we're using superhero names.
Don't defile the super wrestlers, goddammit. You could be a super wrestler someday.
Do you know that meme I'm talking about?
No.
It's Peter Parker and Doctor Strange is like, hi, I'm Peter Parker. He goes, Doctor Strange. He goes, oh, we're using our superhero names. Hi, I'm Spider-Man.
Yes, okay. Yes, I'm aware of
that. I don't buy into the supernatural bullshit, man. Sorry.
So Mike Nolan,
that's like saying Turtle is like popular or Turtle can actually work. I'm not buying into it. Not happening.
You're talking about Nubby, right?
Yeah. Fucking Nubby.
Primetime pimp.
Yeah, PTP.
See, I want to frame this for you because right now it'll be tomorrow and Turtle will be watching this and he'll start at the beginning and he'll go through this whole fucking thing waiting for you to talk about him. So just give the boy what he wants.
I love Turtle. I really do, but he's anything but a primetime or a pimp. And I get why people call him Turtle. He does look like a baby turtle. He's like if Bobby Hill, that's the kid's name on King of the Hill, right? Bobby, the brother, the son. Yeah, he's like if Bobby Hill was a real person and a turtle with the love child. He's God damn it, Bobby. I just want to go, God damn it, Nubby.
Turtle.
Yeah. He's fucking Bobby Hill. Look at it. Look, put a sideline picture or side by side picture of those two together. He's fucking Bobby Hill. So
you're making PX have to work too hard. He's having a heel turn, I think.
Is that not Rion? Is the top fan PX?
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's that.
Oh,
there's a whole thing. There's a whole thing with PX and his LIM that's translating through our little podcast series with
Yeah, he's just
yeah,
he found a way to get himself over. Hey, kudos to get yourself over, kid.
yeah,
Kudos
he's
getting yourself over. But
for a man that's
you-
only he's 1-0 in wrestling. He's really he's taken that and he's made a business for himself.
he just stole he stole one of my pictures and put himself into a pic. Well, he's a douche nozzle and a half.
Look at that. He's respecting you in his own way.
Yeah.
You want it, you got it. There you go.
Damn it, Bobby.
You can just hear it, can't you?
Yeah. So anyway, back to Machine. We did it was awesome.
Colonel,
So
you got too much love tonight. Fuck off.
so Wolf then made a special beer for the show that day. It was awesome. It was
Pauly?
No. It was called Lucha Lobo.
Oh, okay.
It was a Mexican lager. And I'm not a big beer drinker, but on a hot day in the sun, a cold beer, yes, please. And so they had asked Machine and myself, like, hey, would you mind walking out with the Lucha Lobo to promote it to the people? Well, fuck yeah, let's go. You know, like, free booze? Do you know who you're talking to? Yes, please. Excuse me. So they gave us a little 4-pack gimmick, and Prater walked out. Machine walked out with his. I walk out with mine. And the best part about Machine is when we do things, I don't really have to call much. He doesn't have to call much. I can just look at him, and we have a weird, like, psychic conversation with one another where we just know what we're doing. So we had planned. We've been doing it so long, and again, being a friend of someone that I've known for so many years, I just look, and he looks, and you're like, okay, he wants this. Okay, great, we're gonna do that. Blah blah blah. So we had planned a few things. We always, you have to come out with some sort of a game plan. But we planned a few things, and then we kind of like farted around a little bit, if you will. And at one point, I said, hey, let's do a bar fight. Like, we're at a brewery, let's do a bar fight. And I knew once he grabbed a chair, and then I rolled out and grabbed a chair, because we were told there was chairs underneath the ring if we wanted to use them. I'm like, no. One, I got to wrestle again later tonight. And two, no. I'm not going to run the risk of hurting myself between having to go to work again on Sunday night, being a fiance, planning a wedding, and all this other nonsense, being a dad, so there's a lot of things. And I don't necessarily want to walk around with a headache the next couple of days because I got hit in the head wrong like an idiot.
That makes sense.
So, but I knew once the chairs came out, I could look at Jess and she was going to go, are you ribbing me right now? Like, really? Really? So I'm down.
You have to wrestle nowadays with that in the back of your mind, because if you're stupid, she's going to call your ass on it
Here's the thing about it. I started wrestling smarter or doing less dumb things once I became a dad. Now I'm a dad, and now I'm about to get married to someone that treats me like a goddamn king. I don't deserve it, man. And that's what I said even in our when I got down on my knee. I don't deserve her. I go, I don't deserve you. First off, hang on, pause. Before I said anything, we toasted Joey Chichi. The whole premise of the day was we were going out for Joey Chichi's birthday on a boat, because that's all of our. Joey hooked us up, and then Justin James from POW, he's part of that group of people. We were going out for Joey's birthday, and so I had asked Joey, "Hey man, I know this is kind of a dick move, so if you say no, it's no. Like, again, you're one of my best friends in the whole world, so I want to, if you don't mind, can I ask Jess to marry me that day when we go out? I know it's going to overshadow you." I go, if the answer is no, don't worry about it. I'll find a new way to propose. And he goes, are you kidding me? He goes, the two people I hooked up, he goes, the only birthday gift I want this year is you getting down on a knee. I go, asking her to marry me or ... because we were texting. I was at work. He goes, you know what I mean, mother. Like, again.
I can hear Chichi say that.
Yeah, my brother. So we did the whole premise and things. This is what we're gonna do. I went and got the ring, everything, blah blah blah. And we pull over to the side, and again, Jess has no idea. She's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Hey, everyone, let's toast the birthday boy before things got crazy." Because 9 times out of 10, when we're out there, which is only why I go a couple times a year, because I can't handle stupidity from myself or other people. 9 times out of 10, it gets a little crazy, if you will. It's like the Gathering on water. So you got to go, I got to get the fuck out of here real quick, So we toast Joey, hey, blah, 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 stuff. And then I said, all right, Joey, get the fuck out of here. And the best is because the way the camera is angled, Joey comes directly at the camera. You just see him go, yep, because he knew what was going on. There was only a handful of us who knew what was going on that day. So not everyone on the boat knew what was happening. And then I had our song playing, which is the Nickelback song that Jess had played. She loves that band, Nickelback. At first, I was like, fuck Nickelback. When we first got together. But then I went to the concert. Like, yeah, I'm not the number one fan, but I didn't know I was gonna like as many songs. Though. Like this, and it was a kick-ass time, man. So standing in the dark, she said to me one day, she's like, just listen to this song. It reminds me of you. So Joey, get the fuck out of here. He goes, yep. I said, all right, hang on. I got one more thing I got to do. And at this point, I had the ring in my pocket, which she just now notices this bulge in my pocket, and not a good bulge, just a bulge. And so she said she kind of had an idea, but she didn't really know what was going on. And then the music starts hitting, and she's like, what the fuck? And then I get down on a knee. But because I was so emotional, which, yeah, again, power ballad, a total power ballad, I went right into that mode. I got so emotional with it. I knew when I was planning it all out, I had to alleviate some, emotions out of it. So I get down on the end. I go, so what do you want to talk about? Because her favorite wrestler is Cody Rhodes. So I had to, again, I had to get a giggle from one of us somewhere. So what do you want to talk about?
Your shit in.
What's that?
You had to get your shit in.
I had to get my shit in GMSI. So I was like, all right, so what do you want to talk about? And then boom, then I don't deserve blah blah. And then it was poppers the whole gimmick. So yeah, again, I forgot how we got back on the subject. But anyway, Machine beating each other up. We had a good time. The match was awesome. Oh, we get the chairs, right?
Right.
And as soon as I roll, I grab the chair and I look at her. She's like, no. And I'm like,
yeah.
We set the chairs up, and now we had the Lucha Lobo beer. We each had a beer. I sit down. I cracked one open. I'm like, come on, like I'm Steve Austin. Well, dumbass Machine chugged both of his on the way to the ring. Luckily, a fan goes, I just bought a new one, and gives him his fucking
nice.
So we said that we drank, and we did a bar fight. Bam, 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 bam. And our double down was, and we fell back and did the whole gimmick. It was perfect.
And the fans loved it.
Oh, they fucking loved it. Yeah, he's like, dude, I didn't know what to do because I grabbed the ref. I'm like, tell him double down, because we had a whole other double down plan, and I'm like, we don't need to do this. We're good. We got him. So it was awesome, man. Again, I love working with Machine. Cody Rhodes.
That's the Ultimate Pauly Cody Rhodes edition. That's the
American Nightmare Ultimate Pauly right there. Send me that photo in my DMs, please. I love it. I'm gonna make it my profile picture.
There you go. That's it.
Oh.
So that was the first match of the day. You had
and even better. So like I said, Nova showed up. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you, but Nova showed up, and I had my face painted and stuff. And she's only seen that a couple times. She's like, "Hey, Dad, what's up?" I was like, "Hey, you want your face painted?" She's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Well, if you do this, let me know." So I get back inside because I met them outside and stuff, and I get back in, I'm in the locker room, and I hear, "Hey, baby," and it was Jess and Daddy. I'm like, "What? Hey." And I go, "Do you want your face?" And she's like, "Yeah." I go, "How do you want to paint it?" "Just like you, Daddy." Oh God, let's go. Again, you talk about being a lucky guy. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. So she let me paint her face just how I had my face painted. And that's why I had to post that photo the other day too. Like, when your daughter wants a face paint, you paint her goddamn face.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Daddy's little girl.
She really is. She's amazing. She really, really is. She's
world championship somewhere. You're gonna be old and you're gonna be like, fuck, she got farther than me.
I would love that. I hope she makes WWE one day, or TNA, or Japan, preferably Japan, because that was my big goal all along that I never made it. So I would love her to go to Japan one day.
He has been well educated in the fine arts of what this business means. So if anybody could make it or should make it, it should be her.
Dude, between Uncle Vito, Uncle Sal, and Uncle Craig, Uncle Hardcore, shit. Yeah. She's got it. She definitely has it. And she likes the showmanship part of it all. She already gets, come on. Yeah. So
she's coming out of the ring with you. She seems like she can handle a pop in the crowd like anybody else. It's second nature.
Because she sees me do my thing, especially like with Detroit Rock City. Like, I love that song, man. And so when I come out, I get everyone going. I do it the way like Finn Balor would do. He put his head down and pop it up. Like that's when it says "Get up, everybody." I always been like "Get up" because I just love it. Well, the last time we came out together, I'll always like put my hand out like to do like one of these like come on. As we come, I'm holding her hand. We put her on, and she's like, "Come on!" I was like, "She already has it. She fucking has it. She's at the time 7. How? So it's fantastic, man.
It's going to be a hell of a ride. We get to all watch. It's going to be amazing.
Oofka, yeah.
So that was show number 1 during the day in a bar fight. Then show number 2 happens later in the night. Aren't you a little old for double shots on the same day?
No. Shut up, Steve. Now you're getting Peter Ted the next time I see you, pal.
Oh, great. You're gonna have to really aim for it because it's
ask Nubby about that.
Getting smaller as the days go on, but that's neither here nor there. So you went to the second one and you've got Jess in tow. So now she's got to do a double shot because you're doing a double shot. And
my driver.
I don't like the double shot. It's too much of a pain in the ass. So take me through the double shot.
Well, luckily, Wolf Den's 5 minutes from my house.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
it wasn't terrible. And Lake Zurich was 27 minutes from our house. So again, not terrible. We were actually able to do Wolf Den, go home, take care of the dog, and then shoot up to Lake Zurich without any issues.
So what was happening in Lake Zurich that night?
That was for POW Entertainment. It was the first time at the American Legion in Lake Zurich, and one of Hardcore Craig's friends set the whole thing up, and we were able to get into a new Legion because they've never worked in Lake Zurich before, which is awesome.
How was the crowd at the first time at Lake Zurich?
Sold out.
Holy
100 and again, it's only 140 seats. In today's world, to get 140 people at an indie show,
it's a lot.
But now picture a room that only holds 140 people with an 18 by 18 ring in it.
People are standing on top of each other.
Buddy, 100%. And with it being that small, it didn't take much for the chanting to sound like you were at the Allstate Arena. So that's what made it even cooler, In
close quarters, if a crowd is energized, you feel like a fucking rock star from the minute
100%. And then I'm working Tyler Sullivan, who I know, kayfabe, don't break it, but I would literally wrestle with that man every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
He has been a good dude my entire 11 years in this business. From the day to the last time I saw him, that he is 100% good.
When you talk genuine, when you talk, he's just a good person inside and out. And I know that's kind of ruining the character. But like I was there when he was an ice cream man.
That's where I met him, as the ice cream man.
As Tyler Sunday. But I was also there when Kevin Sullivan was there and gave him the moniker Tyler Sullivan. That it was okay to be a Sullivan. And sitting in the back under the learning tree of Uncle Kevin that day, him telling about people going, all these fucking guys coming in. Oh, yeah, I'm a Sullivan. I'm going to be crazy. He's like, they don't get it. These fucking guys don't give that kid. Holy shit. I remember going like, holy shit. And Tyler going like, ha, ha, ha. Blort. It was awesome. It was good for him. So it was cool, and again, he's just a kid. And I say kid because I've known him for so long, but he's a guy, I guess you can say now, a man of the business that really does get it. He gets selling. He gets no ego, it's things like that. It's funny when you talk to him in the back, you're like, you're just a fucking nerd like any one of us. But when you see him out there with a spike and she's you're like, oh, you got that crazy for the sake of being crazy again. But you can go fark yourself too, motherfucker.
He does sociopaths so very well. It's really a thing of beauty to watch. So talk us through what happened at POW. The show obviously was a huge success. Another
was
in the feather of the cap of Jimmy Blaze.
It was good, man. It was really good. It was a fun show. I definitely think they're going to have us back because again, we sold the place out.
Yeah, you can't really be bitter if you're a venue.
You can't be upset with a venue when you sell the place out. So it's awesome.
Is there a bar in it as well?
There is a bar in it, absolutely.
And everybody's drinking and buying that stuff, and the bar had probably the best night it's had in 15 years. And that's how you get back because they're like,
and it's tucked away like downtown Lake Zurich. So like again, if you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't you would just drive past or whatever. So yeah, no, it was a good day for them. I really do hope that we will be back because one, it's close to my house, and two, it's nice. It's a small setting, but I love it, man. I freaking loved it, and the crowd. I don't know if it's because I haven't been around POW a lot lately. Because at the beginning of the year, I had my coaching schedule. Being because I like you guys know I coach middle school wrestling, and that kind of takes precedence for me. That's a priority for me because it is a job. Like I get paid to be there, and you just start the year off. You're like, oh, I just can't wait for it to be March to be over with, and then by the time it's like middle of February, you're like, I'm not quite ready for this to be over because now you're with these 30 to 50 kids, depending on how many you have each year, and you bond with them, and for me, like not being a teacher, I don't see them all day in class. So I don't see them being shitheads when they're talking, when you're telling them to be quiet. Like I get to yell at them. Hey, shut up. We're working right now. Oh, you're being a douchebag? 25 push-ups. And they have to do it then, things like that. So wrestling takes precedence. So again, I didn't always see a lot of people there. And then my work schedule. So, working my 12-hour shifts, my 2-2-3 schedule, I can't always get off and go be at Fox Lake. I can't, especially now that I just went back to nights. So I can't do it. So I don't know if it was because I haven't been around Power a lot lately. I don't know if it was just a real wrestling crowd, or if I could be a little cocky, I think we just had a really good fucking match between Tyler and I, and it ended in a double pin.
Oh.
So yeah, because we're now leading to Lakemore Fest in August, which is my Lakemore Fest. That's my baby. That is my I'll take credit for it right now. If it wasn't for me, Jimmy never would have had Lakemore Fest to promote the show. And I know the city planner. I used to work with him when I was fresh out of high school. So when he wanted to start having Lakemore Fest, Lakemore Fest has always been a thing, always been awesome. They had a carnival. It's a small gathering at the end of the summer to get everyone, in the small community together, and it's a couple-day event. It's a weekend event, and the Saturday night they always have like the most amazing firework display you've ever seen. It's like an hour and a half long. It's crazy, man.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but again, the city planner, he's a wrestling fan. I've known him forever. One day I said, hey man, can we do this? He said, yes. Here, I want to do this. Blah blah blah. Give me the info, and of course, I go to Jimmy. Again, Jimmy, like Machine. Jimmy's a guy I've known since I was in 8th grade. Since I was 14 years old. And Jimmy's always been one of those guys that he's always been, how do I say this without making him sound like a pussy? He's always been the most amazingly nice person, overly nice person, more than what he had to be. He didn't have to be nice to me, but I was Vito's little brother. So he was cool to me because he was cool with my brother. And then when Elite ended, Red, remember how devastated we all were when Elite ended, right? It sucked. It sucked. We were like, wait, what do you guys mean? We're making money. We're doing shows. We're packing the house. Yeah, I just don't want to do it anymore. You're like, Nolan, what do you mean? I just want to fucking do it. So we were done. So there's this amazing thing we had, and it was done. Jimmy took all of us in without batting an eye. Jimmy was like, nope, I got you. We're good. Don't worry about it. And so then we went from being Elite to being POW because of Jimmy. And again, he didn't do it because he wanted to be cool. He didn't do it because he thought he had to. He did it because he's that guy. Hey, you guys need help? Let me help you. There's a reason he's the longest running company in Chicago right now.
He's always had very good vision in my mind. He sees the big picture, and he knows how to make the right moves when the right moves need to be made. And I think that's a testament to his longevity without question.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I forgot how we got on this whole suck fest Jimmy Blaze, but still, Jimmy's a great dude, man.
Just kind of let you roll, Pauly. We just put little things out there and just let you be you. It's like having the second half of the show off.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I love it because I believe it or not, I love to talk. If you didn't know that or not,
I had no clue.
No.
So yeah, man. So Lakemore Fest and stuff. So yeah, we got that. So Tyler and I, we're building. We built to Lakemore Fest. So we did our double pin.
When is Lakemore Fest happening?
Lakemore Fest is going to be August 9th, Friday, August 9th, Lakemore, Illinois. I can't remember the name of the park, but it's literally in the dead nuts center of the town. And it's awesome, dude. Like we're out on like a basketball court. They set the ring up on the basketball court, and it's all outdoors. And the past couple years, we've actually had a band playing while we were wrestling, so everyone feels like New Jack, but it's usually like country because it's out in the fucking sticks of Lakemore. But still, it's it's cool. It's like you got music playing while you're wrestling. It's a kick-ass time, man.
All right, I'm gonna put that in my calendar. I might want to see that.
You might have to come out there. It's gonna be a good time. It's always a good time, dude.
I'll pick up Red in the city. We'll come out.
Yeah. Come hang out. Again, you drinks, music, hanging out, wrestling. It doesn't get any better, man. It just
really
doesn't get any better. So, worst case scenario, if I do have too much, I can just Uber to my parents' house because they're 10 minutes away. So it's perfect.
There's a safe harbor in the storm of drunkenness, which is always a good thing to have.
Oh yeah, that's why I have the Uber app. If I ever need it, I want to use it. I don't want to search for it while I'm drunk. But never. Hey, any kids out there, never drink and drive. It's not worth it. So,
not worth it. That's absolutely true. So what's up next for you? What's your next event? Is it Lakemore Fest, or do you have some things happening in June and July?
So June's done now. I had 2 matches June 15th, and I'm good on that for a while. July, I have no opportunity to wrestle in July. 4th of July, that first weekend. I'm off the first weekend, but Jess's birthday is July 5th, so I can't do anything July 6th. 5th, 6th, or 7th because I gotta be a good fiance. So again.
It's Jess Fest.
It's Jess Fest, right? Again, I outkicked my coverage, so there's certain things you kind of got to do. Just
100%. Yeah,
okay.
You better have some shit planned for every day.
And no one really runs July. The only person I've ever known to run in July and actually make money is Braun the Lumberjack. Braun is the only man, and I don't know how he does it. I don't know if he's paying these people 10 cents on the dollar just to come to the show, but for some reason, he's the only dude I know that's promoted, and it doesn't matter what company. Braun is the only guy that somehow promotes and draws ridiculously well in July. I was just telling Jess that because she met Braun on Saturday at Wolf Den.
Boy, Braun was everywhere this weekend.
Yeah, so Braun rented the ring. It was his ring rental with Chano and stuff. And so I go, hey, you got to meet my boy. And Jess is like, another one, because everyone's my boy, right? No, I go, no, this goes back. Being in high school, meeting the guy, this is one of my boys that I know push come to shove. It's a phone call away and we got to hide a dead body. Whose car are we taking? So not that I would have to get that extreme, but that's how I view Braun. I think Braun.
Which one of you is Affleck and which one of you is Jeremy Renner? If you're going to drop that little movie innuendo.
I'm probably Renner. I think Braun has more people that he want to bury more so than me, but that is it could go either way. But I think just going off numbers, he might be a little bit more Affleck than, and I'll be more.
I've watched him bury many a motherfucker too, so you are.
And it's funny. So he tells Jess, "Oh my God, your fiance, I love Pauly. I love Pauly." He's like, "You got to do me a favor, honey," and she's. What? You gotta watch the retirement match. So now that was when I was back. I was getting dressed and stuff. So we come back downstairs and I'm talking. She goes, "Hey, what's this thing I heard about a retirement match?" And I went, "Oh, that old thing. We don't got to talk about that."
I was there for that one. I remember that one very well.
Mm-hmm.
The best use of a laser disc in the history of the world.
100%. So she found out about that. So I have to end up showing her that match online. So we'll see how that goes.
You can't beat a retire, operative word being tire, match.
No, then we came back as the haters. It was cool. I always love putting on the mask and being a hater. But
do you know how long it took me to pack that truck full of tires from my work? It took like an hour and 20 minutes.
I didn't know that you were the guy that we got the tires from.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
And that nobody helped me roll the tires in. I had to roll all those motherfucking tires in myself until somebody said, "Why is that old dude rolling in these tires?"
You got to learn how to work, dude.
Apparently
learn how to work.
I get told that even today. Yeah, you got to learn to do something, Steve.
Learn how to work, man.
That's true.
Yeah, you kind of got effed in the end that when you did it to yourself. So
that was in the early days of my my career at the GPW.
Right.
God rest its soul.
GPW, man, that was cool. That was cool. And especially at that time, like where I was at mentally in my life, I needed that place. I needed it because I was going through my divorce. I was like newly separated. Like I needed that place, you know, and then man, it just kind of went to shit from there, which sucks.
That's one of the reasons why I love you so much. Because at the end, when that place was a shit show, we were trying to Turtle and I are trying to book the match, trying to make the card happen so we can fulfill our obligations in Posen. And
Yeah.
I messaged you, and instead of laughing at me and saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" You and Craig came out and as the haters, and you supported us, and we had you doing something utterly fucking stupid, I think.
Was
But
that the match with TJ Steele and Boz?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
The longest shine, a 25-minute shine. Hey, Boz and TJ Steele, if you hear this, fuck you for that. All right. I love you guys, but seriously, never again. If we ever work again, it's all heat on me, on you. Heat all day, motherfucker. And I'm going over too. Yeah. Yeah. You can blow the motor all you can blow this motor all you want, guys, but I'm going over. I don't give a shit. Fuck off.
We went 45 minutes over our scheduled time, and I think 30 minutes of that was the shine in that match.
30 minutes, and I go, hey, are we taking it home? No, we got to get in the heat now. What? Dude, I was livid. I'm like, thank God I'm getting paid what I'm getting paid right now because I can't handle it.
EOZ. That's all that is. That's fair.
I love Boz. Don't get me wrong, but wow. certain times, you remember the hard times promo? You know, that was my hard times. Yeah. My boss kicked me in the butt, gave me a watch, and told me a computer took my job that day. And all I had to do was sit there, and the computer was Steve Boz being shining.
Oh man.
Yeah. You know, and again, part of me during that wanted to just start beating people up, and I'm like, you can't be the asshole that people think you are, but I want it to be. I really want it to be.
So many people worth beating up in that era that there's no doubt about that.
If it was two other people, 100%. 100%. But no, I you know, it's like the time JCW wanted me and Vito to wrestle Scott Steiner and Vader, and we turned it down because we knew that anything with those two, it was going to turn into a shoot. And Vito goes, listen, we could do it. It could be all right. But I don't want to be the guys on the indies that beat up two dudes, especially back then, because Vader wasn't moving like Vader was moving.
No.
And we didn't respect anyone, so we politely declined. And sure as shit, did we saw the match at the Gathering that year. We saw the match at the Gathering that year, and it was a shit show. It was Vader and Steiner beat these two marks up that were just happy to be there wrestling. You know,
that is the
Vader
American Pauly,
and they fucked up and they would grab chairs. I went, you know. Let me tell you something, Daddy. A computer took your job. Yeah. So yeah, man. Yeah, but that's that. So yeah, I'm engaged. I've had really good matches, and I have at least 6 inches of my 1 foot out the door pro wrestling at this point.
So are you thinking that the time is coming?
I'm having fun. That's the problem.
Are you going to go on sabbatical like Red that lasted 15 minutes?
No. And here's the thing about it. I'm not going to tell people that, like, when I feel I'm done, that I'm done. I'm just going to fade away. I'm going to be like that what was the dog in The Simpsons that went away to his home planet? That I'm just going to be that guy. I'm just going to slowly just fade away like I'm not here anymore. I don't need a retirement tour because this is a hobby for me. So you can't really, this is my own personal feelings. Anyone that's done this, I'm not knocking you. This is me projecting my feelings about me. I'm not going to go on a retirement tour. I'm not going to tell people that I'm retiring because this isn't a job. It's a business, 100%, but it's also a hobby that I'm a part of a business. My hobby is a business, and my hobby is making money at doing something fun, but it's not a job. And, you know, I don't know who I would want my last match to be against, but it would probably be someone like a Tyler Sullivan, someone that, you know, I've known since they were Poochie. That right? Was that his name, Poochie? I see the picture there. It would be someone like Tyler, though, who, you know, I respect and that I want, you know, that I know is going to keep going. But my last match, you know, no one's going to know it's my last match. The boys in the back won't even know it's my last match. You know, I'm just going to be done, and that's it. And then I'll hopefully be around if someone passes away, and I can come out of out of it for a minute, and then again be lost in obscurity one more time and be done with it. So
Red, you got some things for Pauly?
he's always got things for me.
I'm just, he's been
I
quiet.
mean, it's Pauly, dude. We love to hear Pauly come on here and just talk shit, and one, if not the most entertaining guest we always have. Again, the crazy part is I was around, but wasn't around when Pauly first started, and Pauly probably doesn't even remember. But again, I've been around for shit.
Well, you were at Windy City. Windy City was still around when I started in 03, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys were there.
Yeah,
I knew of all you guys because again, I was with Vito. I knew Vito back, I was with Vito from 99 on, and I started in 03. So I knew of Windy City. My first indie show was at Hershey High School. I want to say Arlington Heights for Windy City, seeing them. But Johnny Kiss is the Great American Patriot at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first indie show in 1998. I want to say like September, October 98.
Wow, that's long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went with my brother Vito and his buddy Ryan. I'm not saying with Vito and Ryan Paluch. That was a long time ago.
But just to know Pauly all these years, dude, and know everything that you have did, and I'm not talking about wrestling. I'm just talking about in life. You have shown people, at least me, that what you go through doesn't have to define. He is that person that was forged in fire. Pauly is he's a man's man. That's Pauly. I never met anybody that works harder for his family. And to see everything that is happening now is a blessing. And I honestly wish you nothing more than more blessings and all of this great stuff that is happening to you.
Man, I can't thank you enough, man. That truly means a lot. It really does. Because again, we've known each other for a long time now. And,
and to your daughter now, it was funny when you were talking about her and face paint, and in my head, I'm going back to when my girls were at the shows, and it was like, oh, I used to get that feeling like, oh, okay. Yeah. And even before we aired, and we came on tonight, my girls are grown, got grandkids, and I joked about what I wanted for Father's Day. And sure enough, right before we went on, the shirt arrived, and I had to sit here and I started crying.
Yeah.
Because to know that even though they now have their own lives, their own children, and I got two grandchildren on the way.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. Within the next 2 months, I broke down and cried because I'm like, okay, I did something right.
Yeah.
But when you started talking about yours, I got that feeling all over again, thinking of how they were at shows, and to hear that you have this awesome woman. Here's the funny part, since Steve always waits for it. She's never popped up in my timeline on Facebook.
As far as people you may know?
And right until the past week. And it's constant now.
Are you talking about Jess Red?
Yeah,
Yeah, she's popped up on mine too. I always like I should click this, but then I'm like, she's
right.
It's funny because usually when someone asks her, she's like, "Oh, mutual friend Pauly, hey, who's this guy?" I'm like, I give her the thumbs up. We're like, nah, yeah, no, they're cool. Nah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I'm not doing it.
No,
I don't want to know.
no, but she knows you guys. One, mainly because of the podcast, but then RPW when we were there. So, but then she got to hang out with Ringmaster's girlfriend, Acid's wife. Like they were like the three amigas, if you will. Like, oh hey, like the fuck how did we end up here? And then fast forward, we're at when we were at the Kiss concert last November, and then I look and I see this dude with a pink fucking goatee. I'm like, is that holy? It's fucking Ringmaster. There's his girlfriend right there, and only because Ringmaster's girlfriend started talking to Nova because Nova's shirt said my first Kiss concert, and she was marking out because she goes, "Are you with your dad right now?" And she goes, "Yeah, my dad." She goes, "My first concert ever was Kiss, and I was with my dad." She goes, "My last concert with Kiss is gonna be right now tonight with you and my boyfriend." And when she's my boyfriend, I look and went, "Fucking Ringmaster!" Like, holy shit! I go, "Todd, what?" He goes, hey, Pauly. I go, nah. I'm like, oh my god, so it was cool, it was very, very, very cool. So then, yeah, like you said, at RPW, where everyone's hanging out, it was a good time. It's a real good time.
Yeah.
So it's just
fun. But that's been funny because it's like, you like, who do I don't know you. Why is she on my timeline?
Because now she's fucking stuck with me, dude.
Yeah, you're locked in now, brother.
Yeah, I always thought you said yes, like you signed up, like you're stuck with me. There's no
didn't read the fine print.
Backing out, yeah. Yep, for better or for worse, that means something to me.
That does.
Yeah.
Good fight.
It is, and then so we're gonna be doing it in September of next year. We found the venue. Get this shit. So you guys know Pauly can't turn Pauly off. Brandon, I'm just a dude, right? I'm just a normal guy. I'm a dad. I'm a fiance. Blah, blah, blah.
Good dude.
But as soon as Pauly comes out, it's like, ooh. So I remember Vito always telling me ABS. What? ABS. Whether you're a salesman or you're a wrestler, ABS. I go, Vito, I don't know what that means. He goes, always be selling. Always be selling. As a salesman, when you sell cars or you sell windows or you sell whatever, chances are you work on a commission, so you're always selling. You're always trying to get the next big sale, right?
That's it.
As pro wrestlers, one, we like to put ourselves over, but two, the number one rule of wrestling is sell for your opponent. Always make your opponent look good. ABS. It's not just breaks. It's always be selling, right?
Put them over. It's your facility.
We find the venue. Jess inquired about a couple places and on a website, and the first place that hit us up is a place that we were at back in May for one of Jess's friends' birthday parties. And I had a fucking riot. Okay. We'll just leave it at that. The place is awesome. There's a train tracks that run by it. And at any point, if a train comes by, whether it's a metro train or a freight train, if you can get to the bar in time and put $1 on the bar, it's dollar shots. So you just it's awesome, right? So long story short, I had a good time. I tell Jess, there's 3 separate areas of the place within 2 blocks. The one place is a mead hall. They make their own homemade mead and ciders, everything in the one little place. But the building's like an L. And then the beer garden is a concrete patio with the train behind it, the train tracks behind it. And I said that would be the perfect place to do some sort of wrestling show, festival type thing at this place. We should get in contact with them or get me the contact info, and I want to talk to their event coordinator. Like, I'll get Jimmy involved, Pow involved, and we'll put on a fucking show there. So again, when you're drunk doing Jello shots and things at a bar, that sounds like a good time that night. And it was one of those things in the back of your head, like, okay, cool, like whatever. But I wanted to do it. And then the first place to contact Jess when she put her email into the gimmick for our wedding was that place, Obscurity Brewing. What? So we're there. We go check it out. We pretty much knew, like, right then and there, like, we would be horrible at joined by a puppy because the first one we looked at, we're like, yeah, no, we're taking this one home. And then that one and that one too. So yeah, we go to this place. First place to look at, done. Let's talk shop. So we're talking to the wedding coordinator and stuff, and I said, yeah, you know, we're just really happy to be here. Like, we like this place. And I go, I want to do a wrestling show here. And she goes, wait, what? I go, I'm a professional wrestler.
ABS.
ABS, right? I can't. And I remember she didn't side eye me like, but she side eyed me like, oh fuck, Pauly's coming out now, damn it. At least he has his clothes on, like there's not an outfit on or something, you know, he's fine, but fuck, right? So we she goes, what do you mean? I'm a professional wrestler, so you know, it's a hobby. It's like, blah, blah. She goes, hang on, gets on her phone. Yeah, Zach, come out to the beer garden. I don't care that you're busy. You got to meet. Come out to the beer garden right now. So a boy comes out. He's like, hey, what's going on? She's like, so there you want to have our wedding here? He's like, okay. Like, why are you doing your job and not and including me into your job? Like the guy, you could tell he wasn't mad, but he was kind of like, what's going on? And she goes, oh, anyway, besides their wedding, Brandon's a wrestler. He's a blah, blah, blah. He's like, wait, what? All of a sudden, I said, yeah, man, I was just saying that I wanted to do a show at the mead hall. And he goes, fuck that. We'll do it right here at the main brewery in the beer garden itself. And I go, oh, well, give me your card. So now this guy that didn't want to come out and talk because he was actually working, runs back to his office, comes and gives me a card. So I take a picture of the card, send it to Jimmy. It looks like nothing's for sure. So I don't want to, you know, say that, well, we're doing this. You know, nothing's for sure, but let's just say the talks have been going very well.
Okay.
So hopefully we're going to have a brewery show in the next couple months here. And I kept telling Jessica, if we pack this place, I want money off our fucking wedding. Like,
Get that discount.
I want a discount. Okay. We brought in a lot of business in one day. Now you got a teacher discount. Great. I want the pro wrestler discount, which is free. So let's do this shit.
And why are you going to get that pro wrestler?
Always be selling, baby. Always be selling.
And that is the name of our episode tonight. Pauly Thomaselli, always be selling.
Yeah. So, well, thanks for having me on, guys. I can't thank you enough. Like I always get excited to talk, you know, pro wrestling in a controlled setting like this. But I get really excited when it's this show. I love this show. Like I love listening to you guys. I love hanging out with you guys. I miss seeing you guys at shows, but I have talked with the Shelleys a little bit, and hopefully, you know, old Ultimate Pauly gets to come back to RPW here in the next season. So we'll see what happens.
We will look forward to having because when you were at Rocket Pro, you pissed everybody the fuck off in the first 30 seconds you came out. Not people like the crowd.
I was like, oh no, what'd I do?
No, you had the fucking crowd angry right off the bat. That never happens. The crowd is so happy to be there, and then you took it.
Why? Why is that, Steve? Why is that?
Always be selling.
Always be selling. All right. They wanted to heal Pauly. What are you gonna do?
They did.
Make it happen, Captain.
Oh, and then give him a mic. Oh my God. It was over with.
Hey, that one nerdy kid in the crowd called me fat. All right. Fuck that kid. Yeah, if you're watching this nerd in the crowd, fuck you, kid. Okay. Fuck you. All right. I'm thick. I'm not fat.
That's
fuck
it. 100%.
Yeah.
Pauly,
and now, bam! Look at this fucking guy.
Hey! Look at that!
Fuck yeah!
Too old, Thomaselli.
Yeah, no, 40 years old. I'm in the best shape of my life. So
you look great, brother. You look great.
Again, not from my doing, but having a fiance that's like, hey, babe, I'm at the gym. I'll be right there. Hot pants, sports bras. I'm in. Let's go. We're done.
Always be selling.
Always be selling, baby. Always be selling. Listen, I love you guys. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for having me on. I truly cannot thank you enough for always letting me come on and just talk for roughly an hour to 2 hours every fucking time. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I really do.
At some point, we're gonna fuck around and add you to the cast. So
hey, don't threaten me with a good time. I'll be a part-timer if I can. Seriously. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Have you ask the questions. I'll take the fucking night off.
And I ask the questions like, so when did pro wrestling pass you by? What? We should probably quit you. Yeah. I'll be that guy. I don't give a shit.
We love you, Pauly. Thank
love
you
so
much for taking
love
time.
you.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. Oh,
love you.
Thank you so much
Good, Pauly. We'll see you around the bend.
Take care. Peace.
Later.
Always be selling Pauly Thomaselli. That guy is there's some now you got to go away so I can talk about you now.
I'm trying to figure out how to end the
You
goddamn.
gotta hit stop.
Where? Oh, leave. Sorry, something popped up on my screen. Actually, I just kind of want to hide you and be like, put me over, Steve. Put me over, motherfucker. Put me over. Because, I know what you do. You make me sign out, and then I have to go back and listen tomorrow.
That's right, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
100%.
You know why? Hey, why is that, Steve? Why is that?
Because I'm always be selling, man. Oh, I'm not fucking around either. We're gonna make him a correspondent and bring him here on a regular basis just because I could listen to that. I'd listen to that fucker read a phone book. I'm telling you.
Hey, I love Vito and I love Paul.
They're good.
And Sal. So,
You know what? I'll take you one step higher. Not only do I love Pauly, but I love Brandon more. It just salt of the earth, and I'm so happy that he and Jess are in a great place and his daughter's in a great place. Nobody does it more.
I love them, and the crazy part, I love them so much is when the father came out with barbecue sauce, I ran to the store and bought some. So that's how much I love that family.
So that it went from the stupid asshole of Ben McCoy to the
no, it went to the informative night that took place with the Chicago Knockouts to the asshole, whatever he wants to call himself. I'm just saying, being fuck you. You can kiss my ass. You want no part of this. Me and Marche, don't matter. We whooped your ass before. We'll whoop your ass again.
Logan and Marche are going to end up in Wisconsin fighting, and I need you to manage them, and I need you guys to come up and take out this foolishness.
Oh, if Marche and Logan agree, again, if
I'll give you a ride, brother. You can ride with me.
Hey, if I have no prior commitments, I'm there, dude. I'm there. If they agree, so I'm just gonna put that out there. But fuck you, man.
Thank you. You'd never join him and stab me in the back, would you?
Why?
I don't know. He made me a little uncomfortable for a minute there. I'm not gonna lie. Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
Let's be honest. And I said this on your post about my post about you on your birthday.
Yes.
Again, our friendship has turned into a brotherhood.
No doubt.
And not a wrestling bonded type thing. I've been there for you. You have been here for me. And our when we talk just general bull crap, we find out that we've had so much in common before, and it gets scary at times.
It sure does.
Like, wow. So fuck what Ben talking about. Fuck men.
Fuck Ben.
I'm just gonna say that. And then yes, we had
Ebony and Ivory. You're Wonder to play McCartney, baby.
And then we had the great Pauly Thomaselli with stories. And I love the fact that Pauly could start a story, jump on another rail, and then come back to
he is the most erratic storyteller in history. You're going down one road and he hits that fucking off ramp at 95 miles an hour, and you're like, ah!
Right, but then he gets right back on.
And he gets right back on. Makes a U-turn.
Steve.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with this one?
Yeah, that's how we're going to close things. I was going to talk a little bit about Wrestle League, but we're running along. All I can say, Red, is you got to come see one of those shows. I'll pick you up on the way in. It's at Lincoln Hall now. That's their new home, I think. And they filled that place, and it was so entertaining. I saw Quinn Whittick fight a luchador named Kehoe in one of the great, almost lucha-style matches I've ever seen. It was a whole side of Quinn I've never seen. It was amazing. They had a four-way women's title match for with 4 women that are relatively new to the business, not all of them, but some of them. And it was so fucking entertaining. And the Thunder and Lightning tag team of Kid Lat and Adonis Allen, you would absolutely love what they do. So many great things. Pestilence versus Shogun and Don Capri. I mean, it was such a great show at Lincoln Hall, and Lincoln Hall is such a great venue for them that I would recommend anybody go to it. I got to do commentary. The fans were great. The venue was great. The people were great. I was so proud to be there. So we're going to talk more about Wrestle League at Lincoln Hall as time goes on. And I'm going to get some of the Wrestle League kids to be on this show, and we'll talk more about it when we have more time. But we have to end this show talking about what the fuck is wrong with PX. Pat, what the fuck did that wizard put in your drink, bro? What is going on with you? This is behavior that is not becoming of the LIM, not becoming of JFW, not becoming of the Fourth Mother Box, certainly not becoming of the Power Hour. What's going on, man?
And you think it's the wizard, and that, that is cute, Steve.
Stop. Take the fucking picture down. We want to see you face to face.
All right. You got it.
Let's go.
Careful what you wish for, Steve.
Put your
You
pants
just
on. Put your pants on.
get it.
Oh, God. It's going to be Uncle Howdy.
Oh, my God. I hope not. It'll be Chad Gable.
That shit was fucked up last night. That was pretty good. That was great cinema. They're right about that. They fucking nailed that shit. Pat's putting his pants on. I think Pat
He had to be. He had to be.
Put him on the spot, and he's putting on his shorts. What were you doing naked, Pat?
I was wearing clothes the whole time. I
don't believe it. It doesn't take anybody this
I
long
wanted to make the people wait.
Whoa. Is this PX? What the fuck is that attitude? He wants to make the people wait?
Right.
What are you, the fucking Rock? What is going
So
on?
they can brace themselves for greatness.
Oh my God.
It's Joey Roth's younger brother. What the fuck is happening here?
And greatness is in your presence.
Oh my God. There might be people that watch this show that hate that shirt.
I personally like it. It's a great shirt. I had some muffins earlier.
I'm not one of them because he never personally offended me. I enjoy his stuff on television, but there are some people we know that just simply don't like old Phil. And like I said, Phil never did anything to me other than make me pop as a wrestling fan. So I got no ill will for him, but there are some people, some super wrestlers ain't having none of Phil. And that's okay because nobody's for everybody. So what the fuck is going on, Pat? Why do I see Tom from the Fourth Mother Box, doing hate-inspired promos about you? What is happening?
I mean, you know what? I'll say this about that little cute little promo that Tom made. The one thing that I will say is, how are you that unhappy in the happiest place on earth? I've never been to Disney. I never would want to go to Disney.
You're Spider-Man. Spider-Man's in the house.
I would never want to go to Disney because I don't want to be around a bunch of mouth-breathing fans because they're not top fans like me.
What? What is going on, Pat?
I mean, I don't know how much I really want to say. I know it's podcast. We like to talk.
Your podcast, Papa. You have to talk.
Well, I don't know. Those days are gone. I think top fan just it has a better ring to it. It rolls off the tongue a little more than podcast Papa. So that name's gone. And the top fan sits in front of the world, still the LIM beer drinking champion. And this is a title that is not going to get off my shoulder anytime soon.
Well, wait a minute. Now there's some LIM guys that want to take that strap off you, as well as some people out in the world. So now you're this cocky, confident SOB?
Haven't I always been though, Steve? Haven't I always had a little bit of that side to me?
Pump the brakes, D'Artagnan. You are sounding a lot like the fucking creator that was on this show. You don't want to go down that road, brother. You don't want
Oh,
to
I
go
think
down that road.
I think I do. I think I do. And I know a lot of people are wondering why I did what I did to Danny, why I took his wallet when we were supposed to defend the beer drinking championship, why I, in his own house, kicked him right in his little groin and left him on the floor in a heap.
Red, what the fuck is happening here?
But I'm not gonna, you know what? I'm not gonna explain myself tonight.
Red,
You
what the
can,
fuck is
if you
happening?
want,
Who is this guy?
I couldn't
if
fucking
he-
tell.
if people want the explanation for why I did what I did, I'll give it to you. But you're gonna have to wait until tomorrow, 5 p.m. on the Lovely Intoxicated podcast, part 2 of the season premiere.
So now he not only is he talking shit, he's teasing his own work. You are truly a heel, my friend. Joey Roth and Ben McCoy would both be proud of you.
Well, and I will say, even with the events of the past couple weeks, honestly, still no love for the idols, but I think I kind of get the big leagues now. I gotta say, and the workhorses. I know we've had our differences, but they were the ones that gave me the muffins I talked about earlier.
I don't know who you are. I don't know if I like you. I don't know what's happening right now. But I'm gonna give you a week to figure this shit out. Next Tuesday night, we'll watch your little podcast tomorrow. Next Tuesday night, when you come a calling, we're gonna need some answers, young man.
And you know, at that point, I'll answer any questions you guys have.
I'm not gonna let you on a podcast that puts people over to shit can people, PX. So now maybe instead of the Gabagools and the Dannies of the world, maybe I'm coming after that LIM belt.
Steve, I'm not letting go of this anytime soon. Gabagool tried with Operation Crazy Rock to try to strip me of the LIM Beer Drinking Championship, but didn't quite work out. Now, did it?
Didn't work out.
And I'm here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
Oh.
And I'm here to be the top fan of all time.
All right, Copernicus. We'll see what this all means. Thanks everybody for watching this show tonight. Of course, we want to thank Pauly Thomaselli for stopping by and being amazing as usual. We want to thank the GOAT of Menendez and Mommy Fearest for representing the Knockouts tonight in Cactus Rack's place. We are going to bring Mommy Fearest on her own show because she was unfazed by all the shit. And that's the kind of guest I want. Someone that has no problem talking about anything. So I can't wait to have her on. And we're going to have the GOAT of Menendez talking about math coming up in August. So he will get his own show as well. Ben McCoy, fuck off. I'll see you in July. And yeah, we ain't playing anymore. You called me a coward. I may be a lot of things, but that's not one of them. I will stand in your face. And if you want to shoot me like you got shot in the face, I'm not going anywhere. You'll know where to find me. Red, I love you. Thank you for everything. I'm glad that your girls got you that gift and you had a happy Father's Day. No one deserves it more than you. And we can't wait to see the pictures and hear what's coming when the new grandkids come a calling. You know, I know you're going through a lot of shit, but you've got a lot of great things around you too. So as dark as it may seem sometimes, there's always a light. And if you don't have a light there, we'll give you a light here on the Power Hour. I appreciate it. All right, next week. I should probably look that up. I didn't get a chance to look at that. I know we have somebody next week, but I can't remember. So just give me a second. It'll come to me. It's not no. Oh, okay. So next Tuesday night on this show, we are going to have another referee who is a wrestler as well. But he is a referee at CSW. He's a referee at NWA, and he is a man about town. He went to Tennessee when they had the territories collide. So he is full on NWA. and I like to call him Kevin motherfucking Woods. So Kevin Woods is going to be our guest next Tuesday night, and we'll talk a lot about what's coming up at NWA that Friday, and we'll talk a lot about a lot of things, and we'll find out why Pac-Man thinks he's the best in the world. Thanks for watching. For Red, for Pac-Man, for Rion, for Rachel, I'm Steve. We'll see you next time on the Power Hour. Good night, everybody.